Hey everyone, Demeech here, and as featured on Shoe Nice,
Tyler from T&D Productions.
here with another podcast. Now, in this one, we're going to be discussing a direct that could potentially happen on February 13th. Nothing has been confirmed yet, but I feel like it's been such a long time since we got any Nintendo news, other than stuff like release dates for stuff we already knew about, that I think now's about time.
I agree. Should we go over it?
Yeah. So there was
All right.
apparently a leak by an insider who's gotten stuff right quite a few times. His track record is nearly flawless, and I'm not the one to believe rumors. In fact, I completely denounce most of them, but I'm starting to believe this one a little bit. Like I said, it could be false, but we're going to discuss things that were featured in the rumor and stuff we predict to see in the Nintendo Direct if it happens in February. But if it doesn't happen then, I think March is the next bet.
Yeah, pretty much.
So let's first discuss the ports that could be coming to the Switch, and the first one is Pikmin 3. This will be shown off in the Direct if it does happen, and my thoughts on it, I'm a pretty big Pikmin fan. I really like the first three games. I had a little bit of fun with Hey Pikmin even though it was kind of a weird spin-off, and I am dying to see Pikmin 4. But
Hmm.
a Pikmin 3 port I'd be a little mixed on. On one hand, I think Pikmin 3 is a really good game. I had a lot of fun with it. It's the best Pikmin game in the series. But I feel like the Switch really needs the Pikmin trilogy. If Pikmin 4 is coming to the Switch fairly soon, I think it would be best to just remaster all the games in HD. Because the
Hmm.
Switch can perfectly handle the Pikmin games. It can use the controls like the GameCube games did. Or better yet, it can use
Yeah.
the pointer controls. Or maybe a little bit of a combination of both, since the Switch controller can use a gyroscope. But I'd be happy to see Pikmin 3 on the Switch, but I'd much prefer a trilogy.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I would have preferred to play the trilogy only because I've never been a huge Pikmin fan, and the first time I actually played Pikmin was
There's a
well, the
demo.
first time I played well, no, I mean, the first time I actually played Pikmin, it was the first one on the GameCube, but I never got into it. Then I
Okay.
got the demo. Then I got the demo for Pikmin 3 on the Wii U, and I actually really liked it. But it was towards the end of the Wii U's life cycle, and I was not going to pick up the Wii U again. So the fact that this game is coming to the Switch, I'm actually pretty excited for because I've never actually like gone in depth with the game. But what I've liked like the other two games as well, of course, but uh, I don't know. It sucks, but at the same time, it's pretty cool that Pikmin 3 is coming.
I wouldn't know if I were gonna pick it up though, because with a lot of the ports, a reason I get them is for handheld games. You can play them in handheld mode, and I
Right.
don't know how that would work for Pikmin because yeah, you can put it in tabletop mode, but if you're playing it somewhere like a car, the motion controls wouldn't be that accurate because the car is moving
Well,
around,
mm,
or I'm not
well,
sure how I'd feel
not
about it.
everyone.
I might
Yeah.
pick it up, but if it's a trilogy, hell yeah. But if it's just Pikmin 3,
Mm.
I'm not sure. I think the one on the Wii U is fine as it is, but I just really hope we get Pikmin 4 sometime soon. Now,
Yeah,
this wasn't
definitely.
mentioned by the leaker, but
Mhm.
what about a Super Mario 3D World port? A lot of people have been talking about it. The idea has gone around, but
Mhm.
my idea for what they're going to do with 3D World on the Switch isn't exactly what you'd think. So I'm going to let you give your ideas first, and then I'll give
Oh,
my ideas.
yeah. I actually have no idea what you're referring to, and I'll be interested to hear that. Uh, I for a 3D World port, I expect. Do I expect it? Yes, I expect it at some time soon. Um, Either it'll just be a straight up port with nothing included, or it'll be it'll have at least one or two more new characters, as well as maybe two more worlds, maybe Odyssey themed, or maybe even Pauline as a playable character, or something like that. Maybe Yoshi. Um, Other than that, it's pretty much it. I mean, 3D World's a perfect match for the Switch, especially with the Joy Cons and the multiplayer.
Now, here's my idea. Call me crazy, but I think there might be another game in the 3D series The reason we got Super Mario Odyssey was because there was a high demand for a sandbox Mario game, and I do think we're gonna get a sequel to Odyssey. But I don't think they'd
Mhm.
completely ditch the 2D game or 3D game that plays like a 2D game formula, and they might make another game like 3D World. The reason why I think this, well,
Uh,
for a New Year's Eve event, Nintendo had this thing in Japan that showed Mario transforming into a dog, fighting Bowser. Now, I don't know why they'd go to all that effort to make that, unless it was hinting towards a new game.
no, I think the dog represents something in terms of the new year in Japanese culture. I could be totally wrong. I don't know. Um, no, I'm talking about Japan. Um, but I don't know. What makes you think that this is going to be something that indicates a 3D World too?
I don't know if it's gonna happen or not, but I just think that the
I mean,
formula could be expanded upon, and I don't think they should ditch it because Super Mario Odyssey is out. I do think that it might just replace 2D Mario, and that'll stick to New Super Mario Brothers.
it could, but I don't. Has there ever been a time when the main EAD Mario team has worked on two games at the same time? Because there's different EAD teams, or I should say EPD.
I'm not sure, but that's just an idea I'm floating around. I don't expect it to happen, but I wouldn't be that surprised if I saw it either. I'd be kind of in between, surprised and not too surprised because of the New
Dog.
Year's thing. But what I do expect to see completely, no doubt about it, is Super Mario Maker 2. I feel like it has been way too long without anything Super Mario Maker related. That was the best game on the Wii U. So much potential for a sequel. And I don't think they'd let it die on
Eh,
the Wii U, and that 3DS port doesn't even count because you can't even upload levels online. But Super Mario Maker
mm,
has been one of the most requested games to come to the Switch. And if it's going to come to the
mm.
Switch, I think it's now, and a sequel would really benefit it.
You know, I've been on the fence about Mario Maker before only because I thought the game itself has potential, but I just feel like it lacks a lot of things that I would like to make in a Mario game. With that said, I also think that a Mario Maker 2 would come out next year to coincide with Mario's 35th anniversary, but there's a lot of rumors pointing towards it being announced for this year, and as surprised as I am, you know, I think it's good that we're getting it sooner rather than later. But you know, I really do hope that they don't. It's not just a straight up port. I really do hope that they make it like beyond better than the first one, so that maybe I could even get into making levels in this game. I don't know. We'll see.
Now, I'm not sure how it would work, but considering that games that required the gamepad like Splatoon and Captain Toad found a workaround, I could expect that for Super Mario Maker 2. Maybe a mouse controller of some sort or it could use a gyro. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's going to play pretty smoothly.
Yeah, I think what they might do is make you make levels in handheld mode and then put it in the dock if you want to play them. That's an idea that I've seen floating around, but I'm not sure if they're actually
Maybe
going
there'll
to do
be a
that.
smartphone app where you can download it and make your levels from there, and then
Oh, that would,
use them in
yeah,
Super Mario Maker 2.
that wouldn't be bad actually. That'd be a good use of using an app. But anyways, moving on.
I think this one is more your suit. There might be a new 2D Zelda coming to the Switch. Now, I played A Link
Oh
Between
yeah.
Worlds, but you're the one who 100%ed it and really liked the game, so I'll let you elaborate on that one.
So, I was never into Zelda that much until I played A Link Between Worlds, and man, I am a 2D Zelda fan now. It's one of the best games on the 3DS, and I've been clamoring for a sequel for the longest. And there's been rumors for the longest that a Link's Awakening style sequel, which A Link Between Worlds was a sequel to A Link to the Past, uh, is coming to the Switch in the style of A Link Between Worlds. And my God, that makes me so excited because I've been wanting a new 2D Zelda experience for the longest. And honestly, if it's made by the same team who made that game, I am all for it. Now, I think the game is called Legend of Zelda: Link's Reawakening, but there's also rumors saying it's called A Link Between Islands. So I don't know. But this has been, for the longest time, I think it's been a 3DS game, and I think it was moved on to the Switch because of worries that it won't sell. That's the rumor. But beyond that, I am ready to see this game. I want a new 2D Zelda.
Now, I'm more into 3D Zelda, but I'm perfectly willing to give 2D Zelda another shot because I did like A Link Between Worlds. It's just with Zelda, it's kind of hard to save the game and then get back into it, you know what I'm saying?
No, I understand. It just, for me, I personally felt like that's my favorite Zelda game, and that's the game that got me into the series. But I digress. Everyone has a different Zelda game they get into.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, mostly everyone except me.
But this is mainly the stuff that was featured in the leak. I know there are a few other things, but I can't see
Mhm.
Pokemon being in the Direct. Pokemon's more of its
They
own
mentioned,
thing.
yeah.
They
Didn't
have
they mention
directs for that.
Pokemon?
They did, but the way I see Pokemon is it's usually its own thing. It's announced differently than in a Direct. There might
I
be a hint of it, but I
just
highly
yeah.
doubt that we'll be seeing it for the first time.
Just to clarify, the leaker said that the games that he listed, those are games that we will see this year. He didn't say that they're games that we will see in the direct. He said that we may possibly see them in the direct. So just for reference, even though we're talking about 2D Zelda, the leaker said 2D Zelda is coming this year. It doesn't mean that they're going to reveal it in the Nintendo Direct. Uh, so honestly, who knows what's going to be shown off in that Direct? Like, we have kind of a solid idea now, but it could always change.
Well, the things I talked about, Pikmin 3 port, Super Mario 3D World, potential sequel or port, Mario Maker 2, those are things I could see in a 2D Zelda, but Pokemon I'm a little bit wary about. But on to other things.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we will definitely see an improvement to Nintendo Switch Online. Sales for it have been
Mm,
disappointing. Nintendo has said that they're going to try to improve it. We have evidence of SNES games being in the code for it. So I think what
mm.
they're going to do is they're going to start introducing new plans, have one with SNES games, maybe N64 games and GameCube games if we're really lucky too. And the service will get
Bes-
better because people have been
Besides,
so
yeah.
angry about it. And that we've seen
Bes-
SNES games are coming to it,
mhm,
it brings me hope
mhm.
that it could potentially be improved. And I didn't get the service, I didn't want to support it, but it'd be nice to have a good service.
I think the main issue with me is that cloud saving is not free, and that should be something that should always be free, just in case something happens.
I agree.
They need to get better servers for their online services because it's not just about the price, right? Like even let's say let's say I'm paying for Xbox Live, right? And I'm paying $60 a year. You may think that's a lot, but I'm getting a lot for my buck. I'm getting a lot of bang for my buck because not only am I getting free games like indie games and AAA games for downloading the service every month, but I'm also getting like certain rewards. I'm getting to talk to my friends, so on and so forth. So I could see why people would want to invest in that. I don't see any reason why people would want to invest in Nintendo Switch Online for, I don't know, what's that game called? The blue dude from Kirby, Lololo?
Yeah.
The NES game, yeah. I don't see anyone wanting to play like obscure NES games right now. I mean, again, like you said, if they add more games to the library and maybe like deals like PlayStation and Xbox do, like free or discounted indie games or AAA games on the eShop, then I could see the Nintendo Online Switch service working again. But as of right now, and in terms of like saying anything in the direct, I highly doubt they're going to say anything about the Switch Online right now. If anything, we'll get an announcement of that at E3.
I don't think that's an E3 announcement. I think that's more of a direct announcement. But another thing I am thinking we'll
Uh,
see is more footage of Luigi's Mansion 3. An in-depth look at the game where we know what it's about and maybe a release window other than 2019 because Nintendo said we have a lot more to show off of the game right after they announced it. So I think we could be seeing it this direct. But what do you think?
I think it's too soon. Um, I there's the thing was there's actually a rumor going around that the game. Well, there's two things we're here, right? So there's a part of me that's saying it might be shown off because there's a rumor going around that it's going to be released in July because I forgot what store it was, but they
Some UK
posted three
retailer.
release dates. Yeah, they posted three release dates for three games, which was Animal Crossing, Daemon X Machina, and Luigi's Mansion 3. So I think you know what? Yeah, we're probably gonna get a title reveal and a more in-depth gameplay trailer, um, and maybe even like a treehouse segment. You get what I mean? I'm hoping the game has. I'm hoping the development time on the game has been pretty significant. I'm not saying the game looks bad in my opinion. I'm just saying that it does need a little bit of work. Um, but besides the graphics thing, I really think the game is going to be great. Next Level Games did an amazing job on Dark Moon, and I'm ready to play a new Luigi's Mansion game.
I am too. And this is the game I'm the most hyped for this year because
Mm.
Luigi's Mansion 3 is one of the games I've always wanted to be on the Switch. But
Oh yeah,
I agree
definitely.
with you there. It's not all there graphically. I think just with a little bit of time, it could look way better than it does. Maybe new models, new textures. But other than that, I think it looks pretty great and I'm excited to play it. Animal Crossing, do you think
I don't
that'll be
even.
shown off?
Yeah. Ooh. Now call me crazy, but I think that's their. I think that's their big thing for E3 this year.
I totally agree. You think it's going to be 25 minutes of Animal Crossing and it's going to say, as you can see in Animal Crossing
Mm,
for the Switch, you can see that KK Slider has fur now. We put a lot of time into
I
developing new
yeah.
expressions for him, and he looks better than ever now.
I don't know if you could do that with Animal Crossing.
Well, you certainly couldn't do it for Smash.
I mean, I suppose, but there was kind of a lot to go over. I mean, there was a lot of characters. I don't know if you could do the same thing with Animal Crossing, unless there's like a lot of new features. Because keep in mind, we haven't had a new Animal Crossing since 2013, maybe even before that.
2012 is when it came out in Japan.
2012, right? Yeah, so it's been a while. I mean, I'm kind of curious to see what new mechanics they put into the game and what they change up. And you know, I'm just kind of interested. I think actually I think the game that Nintendo was referring to about the oh no, never mind because it's not a game that they didn't announce yet. Never mind. But I do think the online service will benefit the game, obviously, as long as that online service is improved. Um, yeah, I'm excited to play it. I've always liked Animal Crossing. Uh, I just hope that they don't make it like the huge focus.
You know what? After investors didn't like the presentation last year, I think they pretty much have to improve it. All they need to do is just do what they did in 2017. Have some announcements for smaller games like Yoshi and Kirby, then
Yeah.
announce some big hitters like the new Pokemon and Metroid Prime 4, and towards the end, just show a trailer for it, and then go over it in the treehouse.
Well,
How hard is it?
well, well. Keep in mind, Metroid Prime 4 started from scratch, so we're not seeing that for like another 2 years. Um, and then I'm
Still,
sorry, what was the other game that you mentioned?
the new Pokemon.
Yeah, I think that's going to be announced in its own direct. I don't think that's going to get a huge spotlight in a Nintendo Direct. It might just get like a little 2 minute trailer. I do think, however, uh, I don't know which way I feel about this, but something either this Direct or E3, Retro will announce what their project has been, and you and I have been really curious about what Retro's been working on. We've been hearing like reports saying that Retro canned a bunch of projects over its 5 year development cycle. It's been working on two projects. They're working on Metroid Prime 4 now. So I'm kind of curious to see like what have they been working on.
I think it's a new Donkey Kong game. Whether it's a 3D one
I
or a
yeah
2D one, I think that's what it is. but I don't think we'll see
Yeah.
it until E3.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think the funny thing is, we're the only ones kind of anticipating Donkey Kong from Retro Studios. I'm anticipating Donkey Kong and Star Fox, that Star Fox racing game that keeps coming back up. Either that game was scrapped or it's coming out this year. And I say that because uh, that's the game that comes up the most. Unless Donkey Kong comes out this year, which would kind of make sense with how they release ports one year and then the next year they come out with the new game in the series. So I don't know. In terms of 3D or 2D, I'm fine with either. I would kind of prefer a 3D Donkey Kong game, but man, I had an idea where like King K. Rool was like a bandit, and Donkey Kong and Company had to like go through this Western like styled themed world, like kind of like how Tropical Freeze was kind of modeled after like Frozen stuff. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And like Lanky Kong is like one of the new Kongs. That would be cool. But yeah,
I think that's
all
more
I
of an
gotta
E3
say.
title.
It probably is, to be honest. But anything else you want to say? I can't really think of anything else they could announce.
I think if they give us more details on Luigi's Mansion 3 and it looks way better graphically, we get Mario Maker 2, announcement of some sort of Pikmin trilogy, which I'm not sure if it'll happen, and maybe a 3D World sequel or port, if the port
Mhm.
adds new things, of course. I'd be pretty happy, and I'd think that 2019 is going to blow 2018 out of the water. But there is
Mhm.
still that worry in my mind that 2018 could happen again. I don't think it will,
Yeah,
considering that Nintendo is delaying a lot of their games. A lot meaning
yeah.
Mario Kart Tour and Metroid Prime 4. So they're
Oh,
putting more care into their games. But at the same
speaking of,
time, they released Kirby Star Allies, Mario Tennis Aces, and Super Mario Party last year.
yeah, I don't think I think they've learned their lesson from last year, especially since you've been seeing that they've been delaying games now. Back to Mario Kart though. Thoughts on either Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC or Mario Kart 9 being revealed?
Honestly, at this point, I think that 8 Deluxe DLC might be what they're going to be doing. Because the game already sold 15 million copies. I know a lot of people
Yeah.
haven't played it, and just because they were late to the party, that means we have to wait years until we get a new Mario Kart.
Oh man, I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted because I feel like Nintendo would do the DLC thing, and a lot of fans would be kind of upset about it. But at the same time, something in me is saying that they're making a Mario Kart 9, but I I don't know. And it makes more sense from a business perspective. Like, would you rather invest more money to make a new Mario Kart, or would you rather just make DLC for a game that's already sold 15 million copies? Uh,
It's
I'm
really hard to
not.
tell what's going to go on with Mario Kart, but I think if it's
Yeah,
DLC, it'll be announced on the Direct. If it's Mario Kart
yeah,
9, E3. But
yeah.
speaking of Mario Kart,
Yeah.
you think we'll get a
Go
glimpse
on.
about Mario Kart Tour?
Absolutely not,
Why absolutely not?
because they never announced anything mobile in their Nintendo Directs. Plus, they delayed it till June. Is it?
Summer, so that could be as late as
Some-
September.
Yeah, I mean nobody's. I mean, I'm not really excited for it at all. But
I am.
you know, I don't know. Here's the thing, though. Excuse me. Um, Crash Team Race coming out this summer. I'm kind of worried at Deluxe DLC that Crash will trump all that DLC, and then Nintendo will get worried and be like, What did we do? Do we have to do a Mario Kart 9?" You get what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just feel like Mario Kart 9 would be the proper move to do, but that's just me.
I agree. And I think that Mario Kart 9
Yeah.
still has a good possibility of happening, but after Nintendo gave their sales figures for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and it's actually sold
Mhm.
15 million copies, that's when I started to realize that
Yeah.
DLC might be an option. It just
Yeah,
might
I
be, but
mean,
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Mario Kart 9. But I think that 2019
but
is gonna be great for Nintendo fans. If we get Mario Maker, it'll be even better. But the stuff we already have now is pretty good. Luigi's Mansion 3, Yoshi's Crafted World, Animal Crossing, the new
yeah,
Pokemon game, an
I'm
unannounced
not.
title
Yeah,
that will please fans, and another one that
I'm
has
not.
a nice fit to the online service like Mario Maker. Sounds pretty good to me.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not really like excited for Yoshi, but everything else sounds pretty great. Uh, but my number one hope for this year, a new Donkey Kong game. Please make it happen, Retro. Please.
It's my number one hope too.
Yeah, I'm excited and I'm ready to play some more games because my Switch is. It's not collecting dust like the Wii U does because the Wii U does it so easily. But it's just kind of getting dormant over here. I kind of want to play more games, but we shall see.